Hey guys, it's Richard. Okay, so I was checking my videos out, and a few of them suck really bad, so I decided to make them over again and explain in detail these experiences, ET experiences I had that are just mind blowing, and they basically taught me what I needed to know about my spiritual self, which I knew was there, but I didn't know all the particulars of what was going on. So in this experience, I'm living in Windsor, Ontario, and I work. I'm living in Windsor, Ontario, on Chilver Street. You can Google it. I don't know the address. I forgot it. Chilver Street. I live, and I work downtown at the Second Cup coffee shop. And this is back in '80s, back in '89, '90, somewhere in there. And so I'm working one day in the summer, and this is before the casino came and all the crazy stuff that basically ruined Windsor for me anyway. I'm working shift change. I just came in for 4 o'clock, and I'm working with no one. I'm waiting for my buddy, co-worker, to come in. We work together until 11 o'clock. So as I'm waiting at 4 o'clock, he comes at 4:30. I'm waiting. I got two bosses. Well, one boss is there all the time. She's a saint. She's like Mother Teresa. And her husband, he comes in once in a while. Well, they're both back there and they're fighting in the back office. So I'm standing there and I'm cleaning the pots. I'm washing the pots. And when I was washing the burners, I'm facing forward. And I'm just daydreaming, washing. No customers are in the place. As I'm cleaning the pots of the burners, I see, now we all have black uniforms that look like coffee bean color. And as I'm cleaning the pots, I figured it was my boss. He come walking up behind me, and I was about to turn and say, "Boy, she ripped you a new one," right? But I didn't say that. I was gonna say that, but I didn't. And so I saw him come up behind me. He didn't touch me or nothing, and there ain't that much space between the bar and the wall. I turn over to talk to him, and there's no one there. I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, what the hell was that, right? So I'm thinking it was a ghost, right? Or someone projecting, something like that. And then a few minutes later, he comes out the back and leaves. Mary, she goes home. My real boss goes home. They both go home, so I'm stuck there all alone. And I'm thinking about, like, I saw him in my peripheral, even more than my peripheral. I mean, I actually moved out of the way for him, just whoever walked behind me. Couldn't believe it. Kind of freaked me out, but I let it go. So, the next day, I'm working again. Totally forgot about the experience the day before. I don't know what was happening this day, but it was 4 o'clock and I was working alone again until 4:30. When my buddy came in, I was cleaning the dishes in the sink, this time in the opposite direction, against the wall. No customers in the place. As I'm washing the dishes, all of a sudden I see someone walk behind me, coming up from my right. I moved forward thinking it was my coworker or someone, and it was black. walked past me, and I turned to see who it was, and there was no one there. And I freaked out. And I remembered instantly yesterday's event was the exact same thing. All of a sudden I looked at the clock, roughly the exact same time, right after 4 o'clock, somewhere between 4 and 4:30, more like 4:15, somewhere in there. So it was the exact same time, the half an hour. And I thought, what the hell? And now, just to give you a thing, I know people have the ghost thing, energies that repeat themselves over and over and over and over. No, I've been doing the 4 o'clock thing for years. This never happened twice in a row. So this was new. This was something different going on. I got kind of paranoid, right? Not super. I mean, I've seen ghosts, and I got punched out. Watched my past videos. Watched my other videos. It's nothing new to me. But what freaked me out was how real it was. I mean, I saw it. Just as real as you, or whatever. But the thing was, it was all black. But there was no features, like no cuff, or it was just a black form. No facial features, just like a black head, black body. Couldn't understand it. Anyway, because that's what freaked me out, was the way it looked. And so I got done today. I didn't say nothing. I forgot about it. So that morning, I get up and I'm headed to work. I go down the back staircase outside, walk through the alley, cross the street, and I decided I want to take the bus because I'm tired and pooped and want to take the bus. So I'm sitting there. I lean against the bank. It was a bank back then. It's not a bank now. But I lean against the bank wall on the sidewalk, at the bus stop, waiting for the bus. As I'm sitting there waiting, I wait for about 5 minutes. No bus. So I decided to light a cigarette. Because whenever you light a cigarette, the bus comes, right? So I'm leaning my back is against cement wall. I'll show you here on Google. I step forward, reach in my pocket, so my back is not against the bank wall. I'm about a half a foot away from the bank wall. Reach in my pocket, get a cigarette, and I'm lighting. I'm looking down at the ground, lighting it. Not totally, my head's down a little bit, and I'm lighting the cigarette. And just as I started lighting the cigarette, this guy comes walking at me from the left. And he's totally a black form. He comes walking at me from the left. I see him. And I think, well, I got 5 feet. This is what I thought. I got 5 feet, 6 feet in front of me on the sidewalk. He's all good. He can walk by. And then he goes between me and the bank wall. He comes up he starts turning and comes up between me and the bank wall. He reaches in between me and the bank wall like this, grabs my back, and pushes me forward. And I stumble. I almost landed up on my face because I wasn't prepared for it on the sidewalk. I dropped my cigarette and I'm turning around to punch this guy out. Like, instant red, man. You don't do that. Instant red. There's no one else on the side. He could have walked in front of me. I turn around and I'm getting ready to knock this guy out. Nobody's there. Nobody. And then I'm thinking, I felt his hands on my back, and I felt the push, and I saw him. And then I remembered at that moment too, this all happened in a moment. After he pushed me, I remembered he was the guy in the coffee shop. Exact same guy. Exact same black form. I didn't see a face. I didn't see anything. Just a black humanoid figure. No features on it. Anyway, I'm freaked out. I am totally freaked out. So I decided I'm walking. The hell with it, I'm walking. So I started walking to work. I walk to work. I work all day, and I'm paranoid. Like I'm up there and above halfway paranoid. It's like 80% paranoid. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's going on, right? What's going on? Why does this thing keep pushing me and getting behind me, coming behind me from the left, always from the left side? Or no, it was the right side one time at work. Oh, what is that? What does this mean? What is going on? I have no idea. I can't figure it out. I'm paranoid. And I'm thinking, I could be standing here, I could walk up to this crossroads on the sidewalk, watching cars fly by, and he can come up behind me and push me. Any minute, I'm dead. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? I can't figure it out. At that, I work all day. I go to work. I'm walking home. It's 11:30, and I'm paranoid. I'm really paranoid. But nothing happens. I get home, and my dog is scratching at the door, just like normal, every day. She actually scratched a little hole in the door at the bottom. Because I had to take her into the hellhole I was living in. And I had to leave her there 8 hours a day while I was at work. Brutal. And now the place I lived was pretty much like a halfway house for crazy people and drug addicts and whatever. But I lived on a loft apartment right at the top on Chilver Street, the loft apartment. So all the crazies were below me, and I locked my door, had my crowbar, so I was okay. Besides, and none of them were good in the head. Now, I had to leave my dog in there, and I hated it. So I got my dog. I came home after work. My dog was scratching. We went for a walk around the block. Take her out for a walk. I don't know if I went down to the river or whatever. I come back home. It's now 12:30, something like this. Actually, it's 1 o'clock. After that, I make some food, I eat, and I go up on the roof. So I went up on the roof with my dog. Now, how I did that was, at the back door, there's wooden stairs going up to the loft apartment. There's a door at the top on the back, with the back alley. From the little tiny patio I had, I just hopped up on the roof and sat there where the door was, on top of where the door is. And we just sat there and looked at the neighborhood and looked at the stars, and my dog ran around the roof. So that's what we did. Usually every night if I could. If it was okay out, the weather was alright. And so I'm up there, and I'm up there, and we're looking around, but it was like, the air was like 70 degrees. It was beautiful. And it was one of those summer nights. It was like 75 degrees, 70 degrees, and not a stick of wind. Now, I've seen the E.T.'s craft. I've had experiences all my life when the weather was like this. So I'm sitting up there and I'm going, wow, this is weird. This is really weird. And I'm thinking, in my head's thinking, the E.T.'s, because the E.T.'s always come. And I can almost feel that big eye in the sky watching me. But I wasn't sure, because I'm still freaked out from working all day. I wasn't mellow. I'm still in work mode. I'm getting back to normal. And I'm thinking, wow, this is just exactly like when the E.T.'s come, these type of nights. Then, after that, I noticed that because it was a very great night. It was beautiful outside. So I went back in the house with my dog. And turned on the TV. I didn't have TV stations, I just had static. So I just turned it on for the light coming off the TV, so I could see what I'm doing. So I read a chapter out of my book, whatever I was reading, laid down, and I started falling asleep. As I'm laying there, as I'm trying to fall asleep, I got this anxiety, like something's wrong, or I got anxiety, I can't sleep. And so I'm laying there and it's pissing me off because I can't fall asleep, and I don't know why I can't fall asleep. Don't know. And I totally forgot about all the past ET experiences. I haven't totally forgot about them, but I'm not relating them to what's happening now, so this is all new to me, but it ain't. Okay? Not until an event happens. So I'm laying there, and all of a sudden I get anxiety and I can't sleep. Then, all of a sudden I feel a wave of tingles from my toes going up my legs, torso, and to my head. Wave, like a wave. If I could actually draw it, because that's how defined the wave was. It was like coming through my body and whoosh, and it was like that, from my toes to my head. And it started out slow and it went out slow. And I didn't notice it at first, but when it started going faster, that's when I noticed it. And it was zhoosh. Now I put my earplugs in because I sleep with earplugs, so I can hear everything going on inside. And plus, I don't have to hear all the idiots downstairs and the music and the cars honking and all bullshit. So it's nice and quiet. So I got all these waves coming through. There's like no cars out. Nobody's outside. It's a peaceful, beautiful night. Because I just left the roof. And anyway, waves of tingles. And then I'm laying there and in my mind's eye, with my eyes closed, I'm laying there and I can see colors, white colors swirling around. They were just white at first. Then, after some 5 minutes go by, the wave of tingles starts going faster from my head to, it's like and it was going right through my body. I could feel it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And in my mind's eye, I'm seeing the colors and they're swirling around more, they're like getting faster and more vibrant. And I'm laying there, okay, whatever. You know, what nothing I can do, I'm going to sleep. But I can't sleep, I don't know why. I'm laying there, the waves get faster. Now the colors change. It's not white swirlies in my eyes anymore. With my eyes closed, my third eye, it's just swirling colors that were white. Now I got greens and purples and reds and yellows and blues, and they're all like, you know how you take different colors of paint on a paper and you swirl it all around and you get that little cool hippie look colors swirling around. Well, that's what it was like in my third eye, but it was all swirling around and moving. In my ears, I then noticed the sound, a ringing sound, like beep, and soon that changed to beep, plus there was a sound of sound like Morse code. And as that was happening, so I had the waves coming up over me, I had the colors changing and getting more vibrant and swirling around. I had the sound of my ears changing and getting louder. Another 5 minutes goes by. Another 5 minutes goes by, and everything enhances. The waves, woo, 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 just like on a computer. Just like on a computer, which is important. I don't know why, but it is. That means something was happening to me, programmed. I don't know what. My eyes then turned to photos. And my ears went, had a solid ring, beep, and then I had another beep, 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 and that picked up and got louder. Then the photos, my third eye, I'm laying there with my eyes closed and I'm seeing pictures. Just pictures, like photograph. Eiffel Tower, I've never been there. Places I've never been. All different parts of the world. From ice, to the tropics, to rainforests, different cultures, different places, buildings, I didn't even know what they were, to a chair in an apartment. Shit I've never seen before, nothing I've seen. Everything, it was just random stuff, couldn't figure it out. And that went on. And it was slow at first. And I'm like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. So my attention will go from the ringing to the visions, to the photos in my third eye, to the waves. And I'd switch to each one, and I'd notice it's getting worse. Then I noticed my heart. I could hear it, and it's beating, and I'm starting to sweat. I'm laying there, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? And all of a sudden, 5 minutes went by, and it all enhanced. Now the pictures are going boom, 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 just like that, random shit. The waves are like woof, 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 and I'm looking. I got up and I looked at my body. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And all of a sudden, I realized I'm getting these pinpricks. Take a needle and prick your skin. Now imagine 100 of them, all picking your skin. It's all picking your skin at the time. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm looking at my body and I'm looking for the needle pricks, and they're pricking me right there, but there's no blood, there's no nothing. And it hurts. And not really bad, but it's driving me nuts. That enhances. I'm still seeing the pictures. Everything in my ears are getting louder. The waves, my heart. I'm sweating more. Another 5 minutes goes by. Everything enhances. Again. Oh, man. And the needles, twice as fast. I don't hurt. They were always the same, the needle thing. The needle pricks in my skin. Whatever that was. My heart started pounding harder. I still seeing pictures. The ringing started. Now in the ringing, there was Morse code. There was a basic ringing, and there was now the sound of crickets. The sound of crickets. What I mean by that is, you know when you're out in the woods at night in the middle of late summer, and all you hear is crickets and bugs. You get that constant background noise of crickets and bugs. That's what it sounds like in my head, and it's screaming. And I'm like, I'm fucking gonna die. I'm dying. I swear that was sugar I put in my coffee, and not fucking poison. And I'm like, I'm thinking now, what the hell? And the pictures are still, just photographs, constantly, man. And I'm like freaking out. I'm laying there. I'm like, I fucking poisoned myself. And I go, I call the ambulance. And I'm thinking, well, should I call the ambulance? Okay, well, we'll just see what happens. I mean, I'm playing all this in my head. Should I call the ambulance? I'm fucking dying. Who knows what I'm dying by? Because this shit's not normal. So another 5 minutes of that goes by. All of a sudden, my heart, okay, this is where it gets really bad. Everything enhances again. My head is ringing. The waves are over top of me. The needle picks, just constant. My heart is now like that, literally. I can hear it hitting my bones, my chest. I can hear it because I can feel my chest going. Oh, it was freaky. And all of a sudden I realized I should have called the ambulance. And I didn't know why. I was thinking about, I'm watching everything going on inside me. My head's ringing, it hurts. I open my eyes. I don't even see the room. I remember I opened my eyes. I don't even see the room. But what was cool about it was the pictures then changed to a movie. And the movie was me flying over top, like astral traveling, like a jet fighter. I'm flying. And my vision is like the windshield of a jet. And I'm looking, right? But to me, it looked like I was astral traveling. And I'm flying over a burnt landscape. All like a suburb, and all the houses are obliterated. All you see is the foundations and junk. All the trees are burnt. Outside the city, the ground is just burnt black. Burnt. Trees are smoking. The stream. I'm flying over that, and I'm like, holy shit. And I'm seeing all these different things, and nothing, it's all burnt. It's like a big nuke went off, something nuked it. And all the trees are burning. There ain't no green trees, there ain't no grass, there ain't no nothing, there ain't no birds, there ain't no bugs. Everything is just burnt to shit. As I'm looking, well, I come to another city, I'm flying up to another city with big tall buildings, and the buildings are just skeletons. All the windows are smashed out. Some of the buildings fell over. Everything was just gone. And I'm flying. And I thought, holy shit. And I'm totally into this vision thing of the flying. I'm flying. I don't know. I'm flying past this skyscraper that's just skeleton. All the windows are blown out. There's no windows. All the buildings around it, no windows. They're just skeletons. And the whole city's just got this smoke coming off it. No trees, nothing. And on the ground is just junk. Cars and junk. You couldn't even see the roads for the junk. Anyway, more or less like that. I'm flying. And I thought to myself, holy shit, this is the best video game I've ever seen. Because I felt like I was flying a jet in a video game. Like, you ever play them be a pilot and fly the plane? Video game. I've seen people do it. I think I played it once on my cousin's computer. But anyway, I'm thinking, that's like the best video game I've ever played. And we just started getting computers, so my cousin was into flying. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I said to myself. Or movie. This is the best movie I've ever seen. All of a sudden I realized my heart is pounding, so my heart brought my attention from the movie, because it started pounding so hard. I looked into my heart, and I didn't see my heart at this point, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm gonna die, it's gonna explode. I poisoned myself, and I'm like, oh fuck, I poisoned myself. My head's going, the waves, all the tingles, I'm just sweat's pouring off me now. And then I thought, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. And just as I think I'm looking at my heart, all of a sudden, my attention went to my heart. And you can hear it click. It was weird, man. At that point, my attention went from my heart, and all of a sudden my attention went up. And here comes the E.T. right up to my face. He's staring at me. He's coming right up to my face, and I went, oh, right. I'm like, I know you. I know what's going on. And then I remembered innately every time he did this to me in my whole life. 100 times. I just felt it all, every single day. Actually, you can see it in my mind. Hi, Rich. Do you remember all this? And I saw the years and all the dates and everything he did. Every time this happened to me, throughout my life. So he comes up and I went, because this is what we do. It's time for our little dance, and this is what we're gonna do. So I block him. You're not getting in me. You're not getting in. Because this is what he does. He comes into you. Or he forces his way in. Well, I'm blocking him. And he's forcing me. I'm blocking. He's forcing. And the power. And he just sits there. Staring. Like nose to nose. But what he's doing is. He's pushing your eye. He's pushing your throat. There's energy pushing into your soul. Into your throat chakra. Into your heart chakra. And he's pushing. And it's like taking, if an icicle, a frozen icicle was energy, that's what he's doing. He ain't doing it. It's coming out of him into me. He's got his chakras and he's forcing his inner light into me. And I'm like, fuck you. I can actually push it. I'm pushing it back with my shield. And I can feel it piercing me. Man, that was brutal. So, at this point, I'm crying. Tears are just running out of my eyes. I'm like, fucking, and I'm swearing internally. Internally, I'm swearing, cursing, and yelling out. You fucking never gonna get me. You're never gonna get me. That's all you got. Jump, right? He just sitting there like, yeah, whatever. He's drilling into me. He ain't even drilling. He's just forcing his way. And all of a sudden, he's right nose to nose. I'm coming in, and all of a sudden he goes, whap, 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 boom. He just like, and boom, he comes right into me. Zwoosh. And I passed out. And I felt like I was going to die, and I was crying. I'm going to die. Boom, and he came in. I don't even know what happened. All I felt was him go, like the energy. His face is here, nose to nose with you, and you just feel boom, 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 boom. So he shook me up. And when he shook me up, he cracked me. And I passed out. My fucking heart was pounding so hard you wouldn't even believe it. After that, I don't know what happened. I don't know how long I was out. All of a sudden, next thing I know, I wake up. And this is how I woke up. I'm looking. This is how I woke up. I'm looking at my heart. And I'm looking at my heart. I woke up inside myself, and I'm looking literally at my heart. Purple, veiny. I'm looking right at it. My heart. And I'm like, hey, that's my heart. Why am I looking at my heart? And it ain't moving. It's just sitting there and it ain't moving. I'm like, why am I looking at my heart? Look at the veins, man. That's cool. And all of a sudden I went, like that. And as soon as it hit, I jolted awake like this. Buddy is still in my face. I went from my heart to the ET in my face, and he's still like that. I'm like, tears just ran down my eyes. And I couldn't block. I was just laying there, and I'm just watching at this point. I'm not trying to block. I'm not trying to fight. I'm crying and everything. I'm freaking out. All of a sudden, I'm laying there, and he's staring right in my face, and I'm looking at, I got my eyes closed. I open my eyes, and he's not there. I close my eyes, and he's there. I close my eyes, and he's there. I can see him, like I'm looking at you, like I'm looking at the TV, anything in reality. That's how bad it is. I can smell him. It smells acrid. Like an acrid smell. Not a bad acrid. More like a bleached acridy smell. Something like that. Then, all of a sudden I hear a conversation. I hear this. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what the words were. I can't remember. I heard two people talking. Blah, 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 blah. And I looked where the conversation was coming from. I looked down. And I could see an inner light. I could see my inner light. And my inner light was talking to him. He was talking, I guess, to my inner light. Or whatever. And I'm looking, I'm going, and I can see two little people inside myself. 2 shoulders and a head. So there's 2 people. I didn't see the feet and the hands. I mean, I just saw 2 little people talking. Little tiny people. And I'm looking, and I thought, well, why are they talking inside my head, in my heart? Why are they talking in my heart? That's what I thought to myself. What the fuck is going on? Why are they? And they're talking, and I'm looking at them. And they're like standing on the sidewalk talking to each other. So, my wisdom, I'm looking at them and I said, hey, what you talking about down there? And all of a sudden the conversation, they stopped the conversation, they looked up at me, like this, they both looked up. And then one of them, I don't know who, what one, and I didn't see their faces, they were just heads. One of them said, so do you think he gets it now? And the other one said, we'll see. And I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? What does that mean? I have to get what? What are you talking about? And my heart's pounding like son of a bitch. All of a sudden, I went back to the ET in my face. Fuck, he's still there. All of a sudden I felt like a snake, a tube, coming out of my third eye. Like a long tube. And it was going, something was coming out like a snake. Like a long snake. It wasn't a fucking snake, so don't think demons. Out of my throat. Out of my heart. I could feel it. 3 snakes coming out. That was a feeling. That's how my brain relates to it. All it is an energy connection through my third eye, my throat, and my heart going in to talk to my soul. Talk to my spirit. I didn't know it at the time. Whatever. As the snake comes out, he starts then backing away. He's slowly backing away. The ET. He's slowly backing away from me. And I'm getting relieved because I know he's going. His time is up. He's got to go. And I know this from past experience. Because he's done this to me 100 times. But I never had that little experience inside myself. Never had that. This is the first for that. And he's leaving. And as he's leaving, I'm watching him. And he's just staring at me. Looking at me, but he's leaving. And he won't break away from me. He's looking at me. And he goes outside. I can see the roof of the house with my eyes closed. The roof. It was flat. He went right through it and disappeared. And I'm looking at the ceiling in my apartment with my eyes closed. And he went out and he's heading back. Then I astral traveled. I don't know how, whatever happened. Next thing I know, I go wham, I go flying right up to his face. As he's flying through the atmosphere to his UFO, what I'm thinking is atmosphere, but he's not. He's astral traveling. I come right up to his face, and then I start backing away. And as I'm backing away, I can see the trees, I can see the houses, I can see the street, all the way down to Olette. I can see the line dot going all the way down to Olette. In the sky is a fucking UFO. Classic disc-shaped UFO with some fuzzy around it. I can see the houses, everything, cars moving. I'm like, why they look, right? I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? I come back to my body, smack. And then I take off again, up to his face. He's still going back in the ship. I go back to my body. All of a sudden, whap, and I go right up to him in his face. He's going in the ship now. So he's going in the ship. I'm back and forth. Bam, 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 bam. I come right up to him like one of the last times. I come flying right up to his face. And he's sitting in a chair like this. You know. And then what he looks like, he's beige, wrinkly, big head, almond eyes, just almond eyes. Not that weird teardrop thing, just almond black eyes. Wrinkly beige skin, different colors of beige. Maybe that's the shadow, I don't know. And all of a sudden I look, I'm in the ship, he's sitting in the chair, there's 3 other guys running controls, and they ain't even looking at us, they're not even paying attention. They're running the ship and other things. And I'm like, holy fuck. And I remember I've seen this all before. I've done this before. And I'm like, holy fuck. And all of a sudden, back to my body. I'm back in my body and I said, all of a sudden, I'm like, stay here, stay here, stay here. I can't take that shit anymore. And every time I go, I come back to my body. It feels like I hit my head on a brick. Clink, 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 right? So I'm like, fucking stay, stay. So I tell myself to stay and I stay. Finally, I can see the ship, I can see him in the ship, flying away, off from wherever they come from. So they left. I need a cigarette. Go on. So, the E.T.'s leaving in his ship. He flies away. I'm laying there in bed. Thinking about everything that happened. Then I thought about when I saw the 2 little people talking to each other in the white light, the inner light. And I told myself right then, don't forget that. Remember that. Always remember that. That's important. I don't know what I meant. But it's important. Remember that. And I noted it. Always remember that experience. So I laid there, calming down, smoking a half-pack of cigarettes. Had the TV on, had the radio on, just to get back into reality again. Oh my God. Then I'm laying there, and I'm like, okay, I gotta fall asleep. My dog didn't move the whole time, just laid at my feet. She's laying at my feet. I'm laying there, I can't sleep. My head's going. Been thinking about everything that happened with the ETs, what it all meant, what's going on, why they're doing it, all that. I'm thinking about what happened before I knew the ET was coming, all the weird experiences. I'm going over that. You know, the wave of tingles, the ringing in my ears, everything. I was thinking about it all. So I'm laying there, I'm thinking, all of a sudden, I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. It's late. I gotta get up and go to work tomorrow. I'm like, oh well, I'll have to get up late and go to work. So, as I'm laying there, I'm thinking about everything, and I couldn't go into REM. I couldn't go to sleep just like earlier. I couldn't. I just laying there. But I lost consciousness and I went into a dream. But it was weird. It wasn't like normal. It wasn't normal. But it was still a dream. So I'm laying there and I went into a dream. This is about a half hour after the ET left. And I went into a dream. I'm living in Chatham now, where I grew up, at our house on Park Ave, where I grew up. And it's me, my mom, my brother, and my sister, and we're eating supper at the kitchen table. We're eating supper, and we're all laughing, having a good time. Oh, and it's nighttime. It's nighttime. I don't know. It's dark outside. And as we're screwing around, laughing and eating, all of a sudden we hear a helicopter. And it's a boom, 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 that type. that sound, and it comes flying over our house. Boom, 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 boom. And we're all like, what the hell? What's going on? My brother's freaking out. My mom's freaking out. All of a sudden, it's like, and it's landing in the backyard, in the driveway, in front of the garage. And we're like, I go, is it landing in the driveway? And my brother's like, let's go see. And I'm thinking, oh, God damn, I don't want to go. So we all run to the back door, and we're all standing in the back door looking, and there's a helicopter, a black helicopter, at midnight, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever, landing in the backyard, right in front of us, in front of the garage. And it's landed there. It landed. And it's like idling. And you can hear the rotors going boom, 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 boom. And I'm looking at it, and it looks like a Vietnam helicopter. That's all I know about helicopters. Vietnam. It's a Huey. Now I know it's a Huey. And it's black. And it's got no letters on it. It's just black. So Mom says, well, I'll go see what they want. And I go, no, you stay here, I'll go. Because I'm the oldest, right? I'm the man of the house. My dad's split. So, or he wasn't home at this point. I don't know. He wasn't there. So, I was the man of the house. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to die. And so, I crouch down, I run up past the front of the helicopter, I run around to the passenger side of the helicopter. And I open the door and I go, can I help you? Like a car. It was weird. I go, can I help you? And the guy goes, hey kid. And he's angry. I go, yeah. And he goes, do you want some fucking ice cream? And I went, and he yelled at me, fuck. And I'm like, he's 4. Because I'm a little kid, right? And I go, yeah, I love ice cream. And he goes, I go, what kind you got? And he goes, no, he asked me, he goes, what kind do you like? And I went, what kind of ice cream do you like? And I went, chocolate. And he goes, we ain't got no fucking chocolate. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, calm the fuck down, man. This is what I'm thinking, right? And I'm like, okay, oh, butterscotch. Butterscotch is my favorite. And so he looks, he goes, we ain't got no fucking butterscotch. And I'm looking at him, and he's got sunglasses on, and he's got a suit, an overcoat suit. He's got a tie, a white shirt, with this thing going like this. It's white shirt, and he's got a black tie, and a over top. And he's got a crew cut hair, and he looks like a cop. And I'm thinking, geez, he looks like a cop. But he's not nice like a cop. Well, you know what I mean. Back then, when you're a little kid, they don't look at you and go, "You want some fucking ice cream, kid?" Cops don't do that, right? I'm thinking this is a Dickie D guy, and I'm like, that's the nicest dressed Dickie D guy I've ever seen in my life. Now, if you know Dickie D guys, they all look like they just got out of jail. They got tattoos, scars, and black eyes, and nappy hair, and they're all nasty looking. This guy looks like he should be working in an office building. I'm looking at him, he's got sunglasses on. And short black hair. Just like a politician, looks like a politician. Or a cop. Right? And so, he ain't got no butterscotch. I said, vanilla. And so he looks, he goes, we got that. And then he grabs a comb. And he reaches down, he's scooping, I'm looking, I'm thinking. As he's scooping ice cream, I'm thinking, what the hell, this ain't right. Dickie D's don't fly helicopters, man. Dickie D's don't dress in suit and ties and wear sunglasses at night. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with this. I don't understand. Something's wrong. And I'm looking at him and he goes, here, that'll be $6.50. And I take the cone and there's a little paper with it, and I looked at it, and it was just milk inside the cone. And I'm going, Hey, Mildred! And he goes, oh, for fuck's sakes. That's what he says. He goes, oh, for fuck's sake. And he goes, give me that goddamn thing. And I go, I ain't paying $6.50 for milk. And he goes, give me that. So I give him, I hand it back to him. And he goes, you goddamn kids. He goes, oh, that's all there is. I ain't fucking no more. Come on. And he's just irate. He's just going nuts. And he goes, get the fuck out of here. Close the fucking door. So I slammed the fucking door shut. And then I ran back to Mom and Chris and my sister and my brother Chris. And I'm standing there on the porch with them, and the helicopter starts powering up. Like that. And it starts raising up, going up in the sky, and you can see the lights on the dashboard and some blue in there. But basically that's all you can see. And then as it's lifted up, going away, all of a sudden I wake up in bed. I wake up just like that. So here I am, and I'm awake in Windsor, laying on the bed, and the helicopter is flying over top of the apartment. I live in the loft apartment, so it's right outside the roof, the ceiling. I'm like, oh, fuck, right? So I'm laying there, everything is shaking. The whole building is shaking. The whole building is shaking. I sleep on the couch. The couch is rocking back and forth. It's moving across the wooden floor. Shit's falling. Dishes are falling. Pictures are falling. Ashtrays going across the goddamn table. I'm like, what the fuck? And I know in my brain, E.T. aliens, black helicopter checking out who lives at the house. I knew it instantly. Bam! Just instantly, I knew it. And I can look and I can see the aliens, I can see the UFO that just came before the helicopter, still sitting there watching. I could almost see him, but I didn't, the ET, but I could see the UFO. I couldn't see the helicopter. I could hear it. And it was right there, right there. You could hit the guy in the head with a rock. That's how close it was in my mind. So I'm laying there. I'm freaking out. This thing's going boom, 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 boom. Oh, I'm thinking, where's the police? And I'm thinking, where's the police? Where's the ambulances? Where's all the people? There should be people on the street trying to figure out why this fucking thing is there. Where is it? I didn't even look yet out the window. I'm still in bed laying under the covers. I'm thinking all that, and I'm thinking the next thing they're going to do is going to take me to Area 51, and they're going to dissect me and try to figure out what the aliens did to me and all this shit and what's going on. And that's all come from Art Bell, because I listen to Art Bell all the time, Coast to Coast AM. Art Bell, not the goof that's in there now. So I'm thinking, my labs, they're gonna take me. Black helicopter, oh my God. And I'm thinking about the dream that just happened. I don't know, my house. The house is your body, the house is, your soul. That's your house. The house in Chatham when I'm a kid. Oh, all of it. Because that's where all the ET stuff happened. Mostly it was in Chatham. Well, no, not really, but a major part of it. This thing is like, it's over the house, and it's floating from the left to the right, then it goes to the left again, then it goes to the right, then it circled around like this, around the house, then it hovered, then left, right, back and forth, and that's all it did. I'm listening to it for like a minute, 2 minutes. Finally, I'm like, fuck, I can't take it. I can't take it. I get caught through this thing in my head. Any minute, I'm going to hear boots running across the rooftop. They're going to whiz down from the helicopter, jump on my roof, and they're going to come kick in the back door. They're not going to come in through that door downstairs, 2 levels down. They're coming in the back door, where my apartment is. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to die. They're going to take me. The boots are going to come up. They're going to kick in the door, gun to my face, boot in my face, knock me out, haul my ass to the helicopter, and that's the last anybody sees me. Any second. I know it. It's what they do, right? So Art Bell says. Why not? The fucking aliens are not supposed to exist, but here they are. And the helicopter picked it up on radar, and now the helicopter's over my house. Fucking aliens exist. End of story. So that's what's going on in my head. So I decided, okay, get fucking man, get manned up, get manned up, get manned up, get ready to fight and die. This is coming down right fucking now. So I said, okay, well, I got up out of my bed, and the helicopter, right there, the whole fucking house is shaking. I run to the sink, where the sink is and stuff, and I open up the drawer, and the only weapon I had, I looked for my crowbar, I don't know where the fuck it was, I couldn't find it. I'm fucking panic stricken, I'm looking, going through the knives, and I find this great big fucking big ass steak knife. Big, nice, well, I don't know if it was a steak knife, it was one of them ones that, like that, and it was about this long, beautiful. So, I'm like, okay, what do I do, I'm standing there, trying to figure out what I do. And the hallway goes down to the door. There's a little hallway, there's a little window in it, and then there's a door. And the door is a big steel door, or a big heavy aluminum or something. Anyway, I figured I'd crouch down just in the hallway, turn off the lights. When they kick in the back door, or however they get in, when they come up the hallway looking for me, I'll fucking stab him in the leg, and hopefully I'll hit his fucking Achilles tendon or something and cut his fucking leg off, and hopefully he'll bleed out. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, but I don't think I'm gonna get through his boots. So I'm like, well, fuck, at least I got a piece of his ass, And if there's 5 of them and they shoot me, well, at least I got a piece of them. So I'm standing, I said, that's what I'm gonna do. So I leaned against the wall in the hallway, it's right behind me here. This is a wall and the hallway going down. So I'm like, ready for it, right? And I'm thinking, jugular vein, no, gun, that won't work, they'll knock me out of the way, I can't do that. I'm getting fucking, I'm like, right in the balls. No, that ain't gonna work. Just go for his Achilles and his leg, right? Somewhere around the bottom of the leg, right into the meat, and just cut that motherfucker open. And I'm getting mad. I'm trying to get mad because I'm scared shitless. And all I got is this goddamn knife. I'm ready. And I'm sitting there, getting all pumped up, ready to go. Ready to cut this guy's fucking head off, or all 3 of them, whatever I can do, I gotta do it. And I'm pumped, I'm ready, I'm psyching myself up. I'm ready. And I'm sitting there, no boots, just a helicopter. Over my head, and I'm ready to go, I'm ready to stab this guy. Nobody, no boots, no door open. And I'm like, fuck it, I threw the knife, I threw the knife on the counter on the sink, and I ran back to the couch. I didn't have enough rage in me. If they would have came through at that moment, I could have done something, but I lost the rage went away. I ran back to the couch, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, the whole house is going, still, this fucking helicopter, it's going left, and it's going right over top of the building, like this, then it circle around, and I can see it, and I'm like, I got a vision, I gotta do something. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Call. That even never entered my mind to call for help. It's like the police don't exist. To me, the police don't exist. They're there to do whatever they do. This shit is so unreal, they ain't even gonna fucking come. But there's a helicopter, so maybe they'll come. I don't fucking know. I don't know what to do. So I'm like, I gotta get a view. At least that's confirmation for my fucking brain. I'm hearing it, everything's happening, but I gotta get a view of it. I gotta see it. I gotta see the fucking helicopter, and there's the window. And it's just like I got planted in my head. Go look at the fucking window, Rich, at the fucking helicopter. And I'm like, I'm gonna go look out the window at the helicopter. So I get up off the couch, I run across the room, I get to the hallway, and there's a little window looking south. Little, it's about this big. It's one of the ones you go, can you get some fresh air? You know, that type of shit. It's, I don't know, a couple feet. And so I'm standing beside the window, and the helicopter goes, when it hovers, it comes back to the left, and it starts to circle, and it's slowly circling. And I stand there, I go, okay, at the count of 3, take a look. 1, 2, 3, and I turn around, I'm looking out the window, and the window's open. I look out the window, and there's the fucking helicopter, right there. 5 feet above the fucking roof. I could have jumped off the roof and grabbed the fucking things, hanging the landing things. It's sitting nose to nose with me, eyeball to eyeball, and I'm going, I'm looking out the window and I can see the guys lit up inside from the panel. I can see them, not totally clear, but enough to see images of them. Holy fuck. Then I'm looking, and the one on the right, I don't know if he was the pilot, I couldn't see their hands doing things. He saw me looking at the window. He reached over and smacked his buddy in the chest and pointed at the window. And they're pointing at me. And I went, holy! And I ran back to the coach and threw the covers over my head, grabbed my dog, and I just lay there, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. And then I just sat there listening to the helicopter. Went to the left, to the right, and went around, left, right, and around for another minute. Then, I noted this, it started taking off. It started flying away. And it flew away towards Detroit, right towards that second airport over by Lake St. Clair. I know there's one there because I watch the planes land once in a while. It's not as big as the international one. It's a smaller one. You can Google it and see it. And it flew directly, beeline, right for that airport. After that was all over, smoked the rest of my fucking cigarettes. Then it's 4 a.m., 4, 5, 6. The sun is just starting to come up off the horizon, the blue. I looked at the window, the big window up front. After it left, I looked outside. I'm like, where's the fucking fire trucks? Where's the ambulances? Where's the fucking police cars on the street? Because my view is looking at the street, Chilver. I looked down towards Wyandotte, nothing. No cars. I look on the street, no cars. Well, I couldn't believe it. Nothing. No flash. The helicopter, as far as I'm concerned, if you were in your house, there's a helicopter hanging over top of your guy. Somebody's house down the street. Call the cops, right? It's crashing. Nothing. Nothing. Somebody must have thought. I walked down the street with my tripod in Windsor. The cops fly down the road, the lights on, and stop me and get my ID. And I asked them, why? What? What the fuck is all this about? And they go, well, you're carrying a tripod. A few people thought it was a gun. I'm like, it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning with a camera tripod. Do you understand? I walk down the street at night, going to take pictures of sunrise at the river, and the cops get calls because I'm carrying a fucking bazooka down the road. It's a fucking tripod. A helicopter is crashing in Windsor in a neighborhood, residential. Not a fucking cop